Morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. It is Wednesday and it is the 10th of July. Praxis is our word of the day. Practice is distinguished from theory. As Dr. Jeremy put his Hippocratic oath into praxis on a daily basis. Let's move to our S&P 500 heat map, see what's moving today. Little down day in some sectors, and others it is up green. We got a little bounce back in technology, NVIDIA. All the semiconductors seem to be moving today after some price target increases yesterday. Communication services, Meta bounces back. We bought it on the open. MetU, actually, we bought on the open. Financial issues are a mixed bag. Some of them are down as they prepare for their earnings on Friday. Healthcare is mixed bag. Industrial seems to be up. And oil and energy and basic materials seem to be bouncing back. So that is the story there. If you're concerned at all about a hard landing, your 401k turning into a 201k, you might look at a program like this. It goes up. When the market goes up, but it does not come down when the market goes down. And currently it is beating index investing by about 5% per year. Some accounts will give you a bonus of 25 to 45%. If you'd like to learn more about that, feel free to comment, reach out to me, and then let us keep moving along. Here's our dollar index. It is slightly down today. Some of the metals mining companies are kind of surging in the news. Silver Trust kind of has filled this gap here. It's kind of real tight closes for the last few days. Gold is up slightly, 0.36%. Our copper index is down slightly. Just take a quick look. This was one of our stocks of the day in the uranium area. It was up kind of big. It's a little slow coming in here. We'll pause for a second. So we're back. This is uranium area, CCJ, Cameco has a big jump today, up almost 8%. The one that we are currently trading, and it's in mines, is up about the same. Got a little nice bounce. We have shorted, I've got covered calls at 250, and I believe they expire next week. So that is the story there. Let's see if this will clear. We're back. Here's Arrow Copper. Working on a little cup formation. We'll see if it handles out, pulls back, or if it just keeps going up. Tech. Look like it has a little bit of a handle there, or still working on the right side of the base. So that doesn't look too bad. Freeport-McMoRan, working on the right side as well. And Southern Copper is the last one we'll look at here. And it's trying to pull back to the 50-day moving average. Our bond yields tried to move up, but fell flat again. So pretty much unchanged at 4.3% for the 10-year. The 20-year did bounce yesterday, but it's pulling back at 0.44% at 3.38% interest. Take a look at our VIX. Volatility index picked up a little bit today, 0.4 at 12.5, not doing too much. S&P 500, it is kind of as high as you want it, above the 50-day moving average. I believe it's 4.5 to 5%. That's when it usually corrects. And RSP, pretty flat, up 0.42%. The NASDAQ, it's over 8% above its S&P 50-day moving average, and this is generally where it corrects, so it is kind of at a danger sign right now. Doesn't mean it will, but that's on average. And this is good news. The equal weight is moving up today, up 0.5%. Our small cap index up slightly, up 0.5%. Pretty tight trading right in this area between the 1020 and 50-day moving average. Dow Jones Industrial Average popping up about 0.5% as well. So that is kind of a look around there. We don't have too much news of note, but let's take a look at our ETF of the day. I think this is where money is going to move, especially as interest rates get decreased. I think the biotech area, there's been a lot of biotech on the trending lately. So take a look at IBB. It's moving on up, bounce off the 50-day moving average, and XBI. These are the two key ETFs, continues moving on up. So that is the story there. On our IPO of the day, VVPR, at one point, I think it was up 60 or 70% for the day, hit 462, pull back. I guess it got an extension on the loan, and it's supposed to be merging with this blank check company, Cactus Acquisition. So that is the story there. Our ARM is up. That's not actually the one I wanted to bring up was AMD. We've got a stock of the day, AMD, moving on up. Got a price target increase. And got a few of them moving today. Micron Technologies, bouncing up 3.69. And Buy One Semiconductors, which is doing a lot of manufacturing for NVIDIA and other semiconductor companies, just continues up another 3%. So that is that story. And our other cool stock of the day was CCJ. Just go back to that for a second. Up nearly 8%, bouncing off the $50 level of $3.90. This is a company that I've been thinking about the last couple of days, and I couldn't remember the ticker symbol, but I see it has a big bounce today. It was a leader in 2020, 2021. It's up 23% today. Look at the gap up. And we'll just see if it continues. Its earnings are in 6 days. Somebody must know something. Apogee Therapeutics, once again, in the biotech, bouncing off of the 10-day moving average. Looks like it's creating a bottoming base. This would have been the buy. If you draw the line upon these tops. So it's up 7.39%. Bright House Financial. The financial area gapping up 5.25%. Let's just quickly look at the financial index. Looks pretty good. Lifted off yesterday pretty good. Like we said, JP Morgan, pull back a little bit. Citibank, which cleared kind of into the pivot area yesterday, and it continues up today. And Wells Fargo, these all deliver earnings on Friday. So we'll see if this becomes a handle. for Wells Fargo. Back to our screens. We looked at Cameco already. Let's bring this up so we can see where we're going. CarMax. It's lifting up off of this tight area. This kind of looks like a VCP, consolidated contraction pattern, where we have this little triangle area. Really got a strong move up 6.38%. Connexa Sports Technology, media and sports equipment sales is up 8.9%. Can't really see it with all these crowded lines here, but if you go over to the 5-minute bar, you can see this nice move up here, pulls back. I believe this was yesterday, and this is this morning. Keep moving down our list. Got 13 items. EverTech, finance credit card, really has sold off. Got a nice bounce up 5%, earnings in 21 days. Lantheus Holdings, diagnostic medical imaging, another big winner from both 2020, 2021. Big lift off here, up 36%. That big move there. Ligand Pharmaceuticals, nice breakout here, surging out of the pivot up 4.88%. MKS Instruments, manufacture supplies and instruments used to control gases in the semiconductor area, breaking out of the pivot area. Broke out here, pulled back to the 50-day, and it is continuing up. Here's one yesterday that this is the ticker symbol looking at. Look at this big move. Wasn't on any of the lists, but it just continues up about close to 5% today. Smart Global Holdings, big pullback, and it's getting support as it continues moving up. Pull back to its 10-day moving average and is really taken off 24% today. Delivered their earnings, I guess. Their earnings were down 35%. Wasn't as bad as people expected, as it was a 22% earnings surprise. So good. Manufacture freeze-dried candy and snack. Flavorful freeze-dried treats. It's getting a big jump today, up 10%. Earning volumes up 188%. Earnings earned for 37 days. Let's see what's up. 10%, 200% increase in volume. We looked at Lantheus. We looked at Smart Global Holdings. And we looked at Air Test. We did put on the option on Air Test today. So we'll see how that works out. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing a lot of testing right now. Testing where the market's going to move. But a few shares in Dave. Had been prior leader. Look at this nice big move up to 63.50, pulled back. A little bit of a bounce. And it's pulling back to its 20-day moving average. Agnico Eagle Mines breaking out today in the silver mining area. I believe Wheaton Precious Metals doing about the same, getting pretty close to the pivot. The pivot was at 57.97. So that's another one to keep your eyes on. A bounce in Chipotle today. We'll see if this is the bottom of their move down. Kava Mediterranean Grill, same sector. It sold off. Looks like it bounced a little bit off the 50-day moving average. We'll continue to watch that. There's been a big pullback. I believe this is Sweet Greens has pulled back a lot. I believe this is Kura Sushi. Really sold off. We tried this. We weren't really impressed with the food and the delivery, but as big a bid winner went up to 122, and now had a pullback to 50. Let's go to the weekly section so we can take a look at where some of the leaders in the restaurant area. Wingstop pulled back to its 20-day moving average. And now it's completely pulled back below the 50. Look at this move. All the institutional investors, these are called ants. Institutional investors coming in to buy the stock, pulls back, continues to ride up to 430. It's no pull back to 386. So that's the story there. Dutch Brothers, a strong pullback today. Slices right through its 20-day moving average, down 4.9%. It bounced a little bit. We'll just kind of see. It had an outside day. You can see it went outside the previous 2 days down. So that would be an engulfing bearish candle on the candlestick. Go to Elf Beauty. A little bit of a pullback to 200. Went down through it and bounced back a little bit. Also in the financial area, Apollo Global Management had pulled back pretty close to the 50-day. Now it's bouncing back upwards. On the pullback, we did add to our shares here. NVIDIA seems to be bouncing with all the other semiconductors. Pulled back here to the 20-day moving average, and now it's bounced. It's up 2.5% for the day. The bounce in got a little bit of a pullback off of the bounce in Bitcoin. It's down about 1% today. CrowdStrike with a pullback in all the software. Slice right through its 20-day moving average, back to the pivot. Let's see if it pulls back to the 50-day, gets support there. Take a look at energy sector, had a little bit of a bounce. Oil prices bouncing off the 20-day moving average. We'll see if this is a cup with a handle formation that bounce up here to the pivot. Intel and the semiconductors, pretty flat for the day, up 0.2%. Samsara got a little bit of a bounce off of the 10-day moving average up to the 50. Sold off, but it's pretty flat for the day. Front Door little bit of a move up here, almost at 1%. Meta had pulled back a little bit here. Is now bouncing. It got up to 539, 540. Top of the pivot area, pull back. Is your chance to get in. And now it's bouncing up. We'll just take a look at all the other. Bang. Google had pulled back a little bit for 2 days and is continuing up. Amazon, pretty flat, right around the, hugging the 200-day moving average. Tesla, got an institutional ant showing up here on Tesla. Interesting. They usually show up on the peak. 265 was their area that we thought it'd at least get to, from 190 to 265. So that's a pretty nice move. We did take some profit the other day. The rest we're just kind of letting it ride for the moment. So this is Weatherford. Looks like a handle developing, pull back to the 50-day moving average and is bouncing now 1.6%. So let's go look at a few more ETFs here. The AI ETF continues to surge higher. The triple upward movement of the FANG stocks continues higher, up another 2.88%. Utilities, they are bouncing a little bit. Utilities are kind of like the somewhat of an AI play because they're going to need to cool all these data centers, up 0.65%. Real estate, pretty flat. Industrials, they're trying to bounce here. Pretty tight area the last 4 days. Infrastructure, not much of a move there. Semiconductors getting a little bit of a bounce here. See a building materials, yeah, they got a little bit of a bounce. Mining and metals, try to move up here. Maybe we've got a little bit of a cup with hand formation starting to work there. Home builders, got a little bit of a bounce up here, 1.79% for the day. Airlines pretty flat. Leisure activities, pretty flat as well. And that will wrap up our search today. This has been Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Keep going out there, working on your goals, your activities to support them. So if you have any questions about your financial goals or activities, feel free to reach out to us. And in the meantime, go out there and amaze yourself and all those around you. Have a great day.